all these interviews that I've just done, each one has been absolutely amazing. They've all been so many different stories and so many different ways of their lives and how they have reached their goals in their lives. And, you know, whether you're young or older or whoever you are, they all seem to be able to manifest what they want to do, which to me is absolutely amazing. So now we have Jill Bradley. Jill Bradley is actually, she's from England. She's English. She's actually comes from England. Near Liverpool, apparently, and she has her own story. And what you are a motivational speaker. Now, being a motivational, we know what motivational is motivating.
Inspiring people.
Inspiring people. So how do you inspire people and what do you do?
Well, I started out as a personal trainer.
Okay.
For 10 years. And
what do you mean a personal trainer? You
fitness trainer.
Personal
fitness trainer.
Personal fitness. So it was exercises?
Yes.
Oh, so that was a little different to speaking.
So that's when I started in that, and then I got into nutrition.
Okay.
And then through nutrition, I met Rebecca, who runs Aspire to Inspire.
Okay.
And she helps the homeless, and she helps women's shelters. And she.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I did a media.
How do you help the homeless? Because some homeless women want to stay homeless.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, because I have to say they like being homeless and they don't want to change and they want to be where they are and they feel comfortable where they. I've never quite understood that because I've always thought that we are here to help them get out of that and to live and have a place to live and have a job.
Yeah.
So how do we handle that?
Well, what Rebecca does, and I got involved with Rebecca after we had this interview, and like I said, she raises funds for the homeless, and she put on this great big beautiful spread and invited the women's shelter, and she actually had a makeover day for them.
Okay.
And she invited me as a motivational speaker, which I'd never done before, but because I'd met her and she asked me about, like diet and fitness because she'd been in a really bad...
And you knew a little bit about that?
She'd been in a really bad car accident.
Okay.
So I didn't realize how deeply I'd affected her and touched her with how I spoke and
how you felt and how you were reaching.
Yes.
Were you reaching only women or were you reaching men and women?
She only asked me to do for a women's shelter.
Okay, women's shelter. Okay.
And that was the main focus of it. But since then, this Christmas we were going out and she actually moved to Sudbury and we actually went up to Sudbury and did these Christmas parties for the homeless, and where we would put together packages for them, and then at the homeless shelter we would go out and give them out, and my boyfriend was Santa Claus and I was Mrs. Claus, and we would go out and we would give these packages.
And you give these packages and presents to them.
Yeah.
But on that, because that's just for one time, that's just for Christmas time, but at the same time they're still homeless. So how did you actually get into them to understand, to get out of these homeless places and have their own living or own apartment?
Well, that's the problem. There's so many of them that have mental issues. It's still a work in progress. So
they don't want to. As a mental person, they don't even see they don't see anything wrong. They don't know.
No, they don't know the difference. They don't see the possibility of being able to. There are stories of people turning their life around, and I've seen those on like Facebook and Instagram and stuff, where they've gone from being on the streets. And have
you managed yourself personally to help some of those people?
No, I haven't.
Not that you know.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Like I said, I've spoken to the homeless women that were in the shelter and what they've done with their lives. I haven't gone back and seen them.
No. So you don't.
So I haven't followed.
So
the
how
stories.
come, with your program and everything, how come you can't reach them? And you're saying it's because they haven't reached mentally. They don't understand.
Yeah. Well, it's all to do with the foods that we eat, and that's where the nutrition comes in.
Okay, so let's go into the food thing. So it all depends on what they eat.
Yeah, so when we eat a lot of cooked foods, there's absolutely no nutrients left in the foods.
Okay.
So the bacteria in our gut doesn't get fed. So it's almost like you have, the easiest way to describe it is we have bacteria, which I call them organisms, and you have to feed the organisms.
Okay.
And so if they
Which is your organs inside your body.
in your intestines.
And your intestines.
Bacteria in your intestines needs to be
So we
fed.
have to get rid of the bacteria.
We have good and bad bacteria.
Okay.
So we have to feed the good.
Yes.
So it gets rid of the bad.
Get rid of the bad. Yes. So we've got to get rid of the bad.
So the raw fruits and vegetables give the bacteria, the good bacteria, the nutrients they need to reproduce and have a healthy gut. And when you have a healthy gut, you have a healthy brain.
See, this is all something very new, because it seems like a different way and a different secret to get these homeless people on an understanding to start living of what they eat.
Yeah.
So how many of them are refusing or not giving them the right food to eat because they're homeless? They don't have a choice, actually.
No, they don't. They don't. And, you know, I know a lot of them, they beg for food and they beg for money, and it's always, nobody's going to stand there and give them a salad.
No.
Which is actually what their bodies need.
So salad is good.
Yes.
So how do we get because we have so many homeless.
Yes,
you know, I have to say something. You have got, and this is a quote unquote, you've got 15, 16,000 younger generation that are homeless.
Yep.
How, in Nevada, how do we attack or how do we help the younger generation of what they eat?
It's information that needs to be available to these people. And get them to understand that what we put into our bodies is
going to help them survive.
Help them to, basically.
So what if they're feeling fine and they're eating okay, but they're living under freeways and living in shelters and they're all over the place living?
From what I understand, I mean, I've spoken to a couple of people here, and they say there are places that are available to help.
Yeah.
Government grants, but these people just, you know, a lot of them are on drugs.
So it's more that they're on drugs. So how do they manage to get enough money, underage, still going to school and getting money to get drugs?
That I couldn't tell you.
You don't know?
By begging.
Begging?
By anything, you know.
Because you very rarely see the younger generation on a street corner. It's also an older person you see on the street corner. And there's a lot of them, and you look at them and the way they're dressed and they're skinny and you really feel bad. So I'm forever, you know, if I'm at a traffic light, I will give that person some money.
That's
It's
right.
usually some coins I have.
I did that
and
yesterday.
I give them some money, maybe $2, $3, whatever I have in my little ashtray of money. That's all in coins.
But the problem is, if you're giving them money, chances are they're going to go buy drugs before they go and buy a salad.
Well, that's true too, but then I'm often thinking to myself that I really don't mind what they do with what I give them. That's up to them. I'm not going to. I can't. If I give them a salad, they might not even eat it.
Well, that's it. Yeah. Well, what are you giving to me? Because they don't understand that what they put into the body is cause and effect. Right.
So all over the world, how do we solve this problem? How do we get to the?
It's
and
educating.
you are trying to get to the homeless people.
It's educating.
How successful are you getting to them? I mean, do you know the number of people you've saved, or you don't know?
I don't. I just, you know, like I said, I go in, I speak at these events, and that's basically all you can do.
Now, how do you make a living out of this? How do you do it for free, or do you do it for?
So that is for free, doing the seminars and talking to the homeless. If, like I said, somebody has an event and I'll go and be a guest speaker.
Yeah.
And then I have my own nutrition online, where I can talk to people around the world, whether it be on Zoom, whether it be on Facebook.
So how's it going on with your nutritional line? Are you sending it out to people? Is it people buy it from your?
Yeah. So
how do they buy it?
I have a nutrition website, and they'll go to that website.
Okay.
And then from there, if they want me to teach them weekly, hourly, however they want to do, then I will work with that person to get them from where they are now. And it's not just about food; it's the thoughts, it's the emotions, it's what's gone on in the past, how they can get.
So you're actually trying to teach them to take a different avenue than the way they are just right now, which is they're thinking maybe one way. So you're actually teaching them how to eat, how to think.
Yeah, to change, because our brains are run on memories.
Yes.
So now we need to create new thoughts, new pathways, so that now all of a sudden we open up. And I know you talked about people putting out there what they want in the universe and it coming to them, and that's what it's all about. It's like, okay, let's give these people something to think about. What do they want to be?
What do you want?
What do you want out of life? I mean, I'm here in Vegas from Canada, because I went from England to Canada, and now I'm here in Vegas, and of course, now I'm here with you.
And I'm from England too. You're from Liverpool, right?
Just
outside of Liverpool, and I'm from Torquay, which is a couple of 100 miles from London, and we kind of both ended up in Vegas. And everybody says, "How did you end up in Vegas?" And that's true. I don't know how I ended up in Vegas, but anyway, here I am. I'm interviewing a lot of people and finding out what's going on. And because we have so many homeless people in Vegas, and I think it's because Vegas is a very different place to live. It's not the same as we're in the music industry, the entertainment industry, and it doesn't really sometimes go according to plan.
Exactly.
So you've got a lot of people in the entertainment business that don't have anything.
That's right.
And they've failed. And especially now, with COVID-19.
That's right. And then everybody goes into themselves and they're like, what if? And then the thoughts, the emotions, it just ties into the whole homeless
So
thing.
how do you, what is the thing, what do you talk about that really gets through to them? I mean, what do you really,
you know
trying
what?
to reach?
All I just try and tell people is, you know what? We have energy, we're vibration, and just people you meet. I mean, if you meet somebody that you inspire to be like a mentor. I know, like we speak about mentors all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, who do you want to aspire to be like?
Yeah.
If you want to aspire to be like Tony Robbins or even Ninon doing
Yeah.
all these interviews, right?
There you go.
Interviewing everybody else.
Yes.
But what do you want out of life? Do you want to? What are you passionate about?
Yeah, how do you want to make a living? Because the bottom line is being able to make a living, which is paying my rent, paying my food, and buying clothes.
Yeah, and what I
And
found,
getting a car and all these different things you need and how much money you need to actually continue. So you have to find out where you want to be and how you can make all this money. And whether it's filling the shelves in Smith's or any of the supermarkets, it's a job. So you have to try and, even if you mentally don't know how to do a lot of stuff, you could also get a job without having to be
that's right.
educated in it.
And I try and tell people what I find out as a health coach, I try, or a life coach, I try and find out what people's passion is.
Yes.
And I found that is the foundations of people's desire, because then you're kind of unlocking all the doors and they don't realize what it is they like. And you start asking questions and they're like, well, I really like this. And it's like, okay, so how can we turn that into a business?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make people into entrepreneurs to think for themselves.
Yes.
So, because if you go and work for somebody else, you'll be on minimum pay. You won't be able to afford this, and this. You're going to have to, live in a shared area.
Well, this is like you. You're selling a lot of stuff on the internet. So listen, especially in the last year.
That's right. Everybody has to be working online.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is going online. And is it going to change after we've all sort of not cured COVID-19, but not going into where we were before? Because now we're so used to doing things on the internet that, hey, this is really cool. Like you've done, you're on the internet now.
Yeah.
And you're selling on the internet. And do you have a lot of buyers? I mean, how much does it cost for people to listen to you? Or do you sell goods on your line?
I don't sell goods.
But what do you sell?
I am affiliated to supplements that come from Germany, but I don't push them. I take them myself, and I recommend them.
What are they from Germany?
They're PM International, so it's pure organic fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
And they make them in a drink.
Okay.
And they're easy packets, just to dump in water in the morning, have your morning fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
And they get into the cells because they have this wonderful NTC technology.
Okay. There's a German product.
It's a German product,
Okay.
straight from Germany. And then they have a Restorate, which is a nighttime one, which helps sleep, which of course we know helps people with the functions.
Okay.
All the minerals that the body needs for the foundation. So I do have that. If somebody asks me, okay, what it's like, you can go to the store, don't go to the drugstore, go to the health store.
Yes.
Because then the products are going to have actually what they say on the side of the
they've
bottle.
got.
Don't waste your money.
Don't waste your money, hold on to the money, because a lot of you out there, homeless and everybody else, you've got to get out of this sort of situation, and don't feel that you can't do it, because there's always a way out there that you can do it. You just got to pay a little bit more attention.
You just got to find your passion.
Yeah, find your passion and find what you're good at. And even if it isn't 100% what you want to do, it's maybe something that can bring you in a living and do something.
Yeah, it will
like
lead you
even
into what
working
you
for
want.
McDonald's or working for any of these people is fine, but also a lot of people have gravitated working their business on internet.
That's right.
So that's where we are right now.
You know what? There's so many more entrepreneurs now.
Yeah.
In the
Do you
past
think it'll
year.
ever go back to where it was before?
No.
Nobody thinks that.
People have realized that they could make more money working for
On the
themselves.
internet, yes, on themselves.
Yeah, because everybody has their passion. I see people every day. They're making necklaces. They're making bracelets. They're making clothing. And they have their own brands now that they're pushing, and there's a lot of it is women.
I just found this out on TikTok. I accidentally was on TikTok, and I saw this girl, and she keeps putting on different uniforms, different things, and I'm thinking to myself, and she's making money out of it, and getting paid for it. That's something different. Did you ever think that would happen on TikTok? Well, it happens on all platforms
media.
now.
Yeah.
So it's all media, and
Yeah.
everything's gravitating to the technology of the world.
That's right.
And that's what, and it doesn't matter where you live, because the COVID-19 is all over the world. It's not just
That's
in
right.
America.
No.
It's
No.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's all being tested, and I don't know if it's in there to be tested by the Chinese. I don't know, but it seems like that we're all being tested
Yeah.
as to what we can do, whether we're going to stay in the house, out of the house, or what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But on a whole, we've all been very obedient and stayed in the house
For the most part.
for the most part. But then
Yeah.
you've got people like me that sort of, But one thing I have always done, I've always worn my mask. I don't wear my mask when I'm interviewing because it's a little bit muffled. But I've always, when I go out, I do wear my mask wherever they say to wear my
That's right,
mask. I
yes.
do. I obey that. As much as I don't want to wear my mask, I do. So how can anybody reach you to get help on your site?
So what I will do is I will give you my Wix nutrition website.
Okay.
And because I don't know off by hand, so I'll send you the link.
Okay.
And,
You don't have it offhand of where they can reach you and how they
Well,
can
no,
reach
I
you?
have the link.
Oh, where's...
And I will put it on there, but I don't know off by heart.
You don't know off by heart. So is this...
I don't click on it. Everybody else does.
So are you fairly new at all that then?
I've been doing it probably for the last year.
Yeah.
I would say.
So how can anybody reach you? Can they reach you on Facebook? Do you have any accounts?
Yes, I have Jill Bradley 585, I believe it is now. I'm on Instagram, which is Minx in Style, and of course Minx in Fashion. So because I also do modelling and acting as well. So.
Acting and modelling and everything else. I love it. So you're utilising a lot of time.
Yes.
And she's ready to perform and do anything above.
Let's not go there.
No, we'll stop there. Right there. I mean, you never know what people do and people don't do, but I think everybody is practicing to find out how they can make a living. And we're finding out that we've got a little bit more inside ourselves than we ever thought of.
Exactly.
And that we can do other things. And I know that by interviewing so many people of how they're doing all these different things. And it's absolutely amazing. It's wonderful because it's opening up a whole new world, which is becoming very
It's fantastic.
very technical.
I love it. Yeah.
Technology and technical, and it's all sort of, that's where we stand. Well, that's the end of our interviews today. It's been absolutely amazing. Each one has had their own story, their own way of living and what they're doing. And it's just, I don't know, it's very fulfilling to understand they're still moving forward, and it's wonderful. So don't forget to sign in and go to YouTube and to subscribe. And thank you all so much for watching and tuning in and taking care of Vegas Live with Ninon. And thank you for being a guest.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back. Take care. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.